Hey everybody, happy holidays.
What's going on? I thought you were gonna come with like I don't know, more of a robust like raw Merry
Yeah.
Christmas
Merry
and
Christmas.
all that.
Well, it's a few days
So
past Christmas, so it
yeah,
always feels kind of strange to say Merry Christmas after Christmas
yes,
Day. And so it's like at midnight on Christmas, we're already saying like Happy Holidays. And people in the stores are saying Happy New Year already, and that
right,
just kind of messes you up. So
yeah,
Happy Holidays.
yeah. So happy holidays, Merry
Yes.
Christmas, and Happy New Year, and all that business.
Yes,
Um,
and Happy Kwanzaa.
yeah, and Happy Kwanzaa.
Yes, so
Are
he's
you?
Mike. I'm Wendy. This is a marriage shop, and we're back. We were off last week so that I could take care of my baby.
Yeah, and she did. Look, first of all, thank you all for your thoughts and prayers and messages around this knee surgery I had. Um, but I tell you what, if I gotta have surgery, I married the right woman. Oh my, wow, it's pretty. I had to like call her off, like, look, hey, baby, come on now, stop. but
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, things went well. I mean, that was a week ago today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here, no real pain to speak of.
Yep.
That went really well. So thank y'all for your prayers on that. But Wendy like took care of your boy like, whoa, it's crazy.
Uh,
So I appreciate you for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Just paying it forward. Just paying it forward. So
yeah,
we missed you guys. If you were here with us the last time, we were like, man, we're running out of weeks. We weren't sure we were going to be here this week, but we've been blessed. Mike was feeling good, and so we're here. And we thought this time of year, most of us want to be with family. A lot of us were a little heartbroken that we couldn't be together because
hmm,
of COVID and everything else that's going on. But we love our family, and we thought, what better way than to close out 2020 than with family? So we're bringing in some of our family tonight to share with you guys. And yes, we're still talking about marriage. So Christina Janae, I know you're out there. Thank you for this topic, and we're going to tackle your topic tonight, among a couple other things. So I know you guys. Want to hear whatever it is that we're going to talk about. We hope anyway.
yeah.
But let us know that you're here. Drop it in the comments, drop it in the chat, and let us know that you're here. Tell us how your Christmas went, and make sure you tell us what you want us to talk about in 2021.
That's right. But make sure you do this time. That invitation is floated out there, and we'll get a few people who will throw some things out, and you will be surprised at how quickly we can respond to what you might want to talk about. But
Yeah.
we just need to hear it. We need to know it first. So, but hey, it's a marriage shop, right? No matter where you are in your marriage, there's always work to do. Ultimately, right? And so that's what this whole experience is about. And so some people will say, hey, I don't have problems, so I'm good. It's not all about problems. It's some about problems because marriage. Am I right? but but ultimately, it's about how we do this thing better together, God's way, really, because there is a way to do it well, right? And so that's really ultimately what the marriage shop is all about.
Yep.
So, but I think that in this question that we're going to tackle tonight,
Mm-hmm.
it actually is something after we were asked that question that started popping up all over the place. Maybe I wasn't paying attention before, but a
Mm.
lot of people have been discussing it. There's articles, there's all kind of things about um, kind of why you get married in the first place, marrying for love, right? And
Mm.
some people are 100% can't tell me any different. Love, period. Is it. Some people are
Mm-hmm.
like, no, this is a business
Mm-hmm.
and we need to treat it as such. And so I might love you, but so has nothing to do. I'm not marrying you though, right? And so we thought it would be a great thing to discuss. And as Wendy said, we're bringing in a few family members actually tonight because we were sitting thinking, you know what? What better way to do a kind of a holiday marriage shop than with family?
Yes. So we're gonna bring in a couples. But our
Oh,
first
let's see
couple
what
that
you
we're
did
bringing
there.
in, you guys already know them. They are the official lifetime dancers. My sister and brother-in-law blessed us with that first kind of tutorial and that video, the official lifetime. I kind of call it the lifetime song, but the official lifetime video. And
Yeah.
so that dance move, those steps, everything that y'all did was fire. So I'm talking too much. Lisa and Brian McNeil. Welcome.
Thank
Hey.
you. Thanks for having us.
What's up, y'all?
Good to be
What's
here.
up, fam? Love y'all.
Hold on, we can hear y'all. That might be my issue. Hold on, let me
Yeah,
check.
so we're gonna figure it out. In the meantime, y'all can just look at their beautiful faces. So if you
goodness.
can get a chance to see their video, you can go to the Marriage Shop page and scroll through our videos, and the video of them doing the Lifetime, the dance, the line dance to Lifetime is there. So we want you guys to check that out.
Okay, go ahead, y'all.
We can hear y'all
All
now.
right. Can you hear us?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Right.
Thanks for having us. Good to be here.
Hey, what's up, Mike, Wendy? Love y'all, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to see y'all, man. Tell them where are y'all and how long you been married?
So we are Brian and Lisa McNeil. We've been married going on 22 years. We actually met back in college.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually started dating almost 30 years ago.
Coming up on 30
So-
years. Yep.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, I remember. Anyway, that's Yeah, we started
You probably
dating
remember
out
playing.
of town.
Mhm.
Like Brian, who? Well, no, that's awesome. Thank y'all for being on with us. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, sir.
Glad to be here.
Indeed.
Okay, so I just want to say hey to Christina Janae, hey to Justice Smith. Still watching you and your beautiful family. Thanks, guys, for blessing us. McNeil, thank you. Gerald Wilson. I saw a couple of Rella Hicks. Thanks, Michelle Moore Wilson. You were in here early. Of course, Ashley Key is on with us, and I could keep going down the list. So thanks, guys, for joining us. I wanted to make sure I got that in between introducing everybody.
Okay. Get that next intro in then, baby.
Okay, so because I can't see them, I'm going to just go to the next one.
Oh, okay. All right, that's the intake.
So,
We need to see y'all, man. I know we can see you. We need to see you.
We
Well, I mean,
can see you.
I can't see their face.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so welcome to the Marriage Shop for the first time, seeing their faces and newly engaged, but I'm telling their business.
Oh my goodness.
That would be Morris and Jasmine.
Oh.
Hi, you guys. Awesome. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I'm Jasmine,
And I'm Morris.
and we started dating in high school 10 years ago, and we've been engaged now for the last 3 months. Live here in Suffolk, and just adjusting to new life and so much fun.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, listen. Thank you for being on. And Jasmine would be Lisa and Brian's daughter. I was going to try to do the order, but I kind of 1, 2, 3, third. I forget third. Yep. Third. So, thank y'all for being on. And congratulations, by the way, Morris boy. I know if you're gonna make it. Yes, sir.
We
Thank you.
were with the mosquitoes.
You know, with the
Remember,
mos-
we
you
talked
know what?
about that.
Yeah, no,
Yes. So, we're glad you guys are here, and we look forward to hearing what you're going to share tonight. So thank you for being here. So now we're going to go to another newly engaged. I mean, this family is just growing. Like,
y'all seriously.
marriages and everything.
Just happens
So
in spurts.
another recently engaged couple. We're excited to bring you guys on for the first time in the Marriage Shop, Jason and Brittany.
Hey,
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, y'all.
how you guys doing?
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
So just tell us where you are and how long you guys been together.
Mhm.
We started dating March 2nd of 2019, so a little under 2 years. Actually, Ashley, our sister, had a birthday party, and that's where we met officially. And we just got engaged on Christmas.
Yeah. Come on now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. So
Man,
we're
that
glad
brother-
you guys are joining us.
I'm sorry.
What?
But yeah, he said it down. I mean, how do you top the Christmas proposal? You know what I mean?
You
Yeah.
just reminded me. So when
Shut it
we
down,
were
bro.
dating, our first Christmas together, Mike bought me an armoire, right? Tall jewelry box that was like almost 5 feet tall. I'm like, you got me this huge 4 foot tall jewelry box, with like all these different drawers and all this stuff. Surely in one of these drawers is a ring. It didn't go down like that. But it was beautiful.
Wow.
Wow.
You said, wow, you know what? Listen,
What did we learn?
we learned. That's what we learned. You know what? Would you believe it never dawned on me to like put a ring in that box? Like, not one time.
Wow.
I can see that.
But I was already actively working on the ring. But
yeah, but it was good. But I mean, that's like a real setup.
I would have
It's
rethought
like,
that
oh
gift.
my goodness, this huge box, and it's such a great box.
Okay, so moving on.
Okay.
Anyway,
And we're so glad. I mean, you know, there are a lot of things that COVID brought us this year. And, you know, people talk about all the time, you know, the impact of COVID. We talked about COVID blessings,
Mhm.
and COVID babies,
Yeah.
and a number of other things. And so while it has impacted many families, including ours, we're just really thankful that overall our family has remained, you know, blessed, healthy, and whole. And at the same time, you know, Brittany, you said you guys have only been dating. You were only dating for a year prior to COVID. I mean, to go into COVID
Right.
after only a year, I mean, that's like putting you through
Yeah,
the fire.
that
right
might
off
that might make it right there. So
the bat. Yes.
yeah, y'all made it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So,
So-
okay, so we have one more couple that we're bringing in. I think they're ready.
Coming to the
And we
stage.
are excited, not strangers to the marriage shop. You've heard her voice a couple of times. She called in. She is always commenting, and we love her. We love you too, Kay. So, Artavius and Ashley.
Sir,
Hey,
Hey,
What's up?
man, what's up?
We are the keys. The keys. See that? You gotta get it.
got
Yeah,
that.
you are the
We started dating in 2015. We met at work. Got married in 2018, and we've been getting on each other's nerves ever since.
And I love it.
Hey,
hey, that's what it is.
yeah, and Tay, and that's right. Yeah, you get the Iron Man award because you know, as I said before, wait until you can make it, bro. Oh, no, it's good to see y'all. Thank y'all so much for being on tonight. So we're gonna keep you on here all night, though. We're gonna jump right into it because you know, we have a question we got to get on the table.
Yeah, but before we do, Camilla Freeman, we're always glad that you drop in and you join us in the shop. So we're glad that you're here. You know, your family to us. And so while we're sharing our family from our family to yours, we're glad you're joining us tonight. If you think somebody else can benefit from what we're going to talk about, go ahead and grab them, tag them, or start a watch party. All
Yep.
right.
Yep.
What are we talking about tonight?
Well, I mean, marrying for love, is that still a thing or not? We actually took the liberty of grabbing, you know, you all know Pew Research, and they do all kinds of things. So this is the question that we tackled last year, actually 2019, in terms of the top reasons people marry, right? Now, what people say anyway is that they marry for love, 90% of the time, married for love. I'm gonna run down these other reasons, right? 90% is love. Companionship, 66%. 63 said they wanted to make a formal commitment. 31% married because they wanted to have a child. Then it drops. You know, 13% said it made sense financially. 10 said it was convenient. I find that funny. And partner was pregnant about 6% of the time. So, I mean, so as far as what most people do, what most people say is that they marry for love.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do.
Statistically speaking.
Yeah, but there's out there on Black Twitter and Twitter, there's some discussions, some real discussions going on around this. I want to share a little bit about what Christina brought to us so that we can talk about this thing. Before I do, Xavier Lucky Sr.,
Sup,
we're
bro?
always glad you drop in.
Yeah.
And Kenitra, thank you for joining us tonight and for dragging somebody in here with you. So yeah, Michelle Moore Wilson says somebody needs to mute their mic. We got a little bit of background noise. So hey guys, if you got some background noise going, you can go ahead and mute a little bit if you can.
Will
So
Go ahead.
yeah, that's for the 5 couples that's on.
Everybody else is basically. But if you got background noise going on, you may not know that you the one. So y'all go ahead, mute. We'll bring you back in here in a second.
Yep.
Mhm.
So this was what was shared with us. This says men know very well that marriage is transactional. I challenge you to do a little experiment this week. Ask both men and women why they are with their partners and keep track of the responses. I've done this before, and every time I've asked a man why he's with a woman, he gives me a laundry list of all of the services and benefits that she provides. She cooks, she cleans, she's a great mom, she supports me when I'm down, etc. Ask a woman the same thing and watch her say, because I love him.
Mhm.
LOL, we've been bamboozled into viewing marriage as some ultimate expression of love, while men see it for what it is, a mutually beneficial transaction.
I mean, it's just transactional, just baked in right there. Boom. Not even hiding that.
Ooh, yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
So, all right, that's pretty sensitive.
Oh.
So look. All right, so we want to go ahead and just jump in that with y'all. I think I'm gonna just throw it to Lisa and Brian first. And by the way, the stats that I put a link to the stats that I just ran off. They also have the living with partner stats. I just didn't get into that. We don't have that kind of time. But I'm pretty sure that Pew didn't go to Black Twitter, right? And so the question is, though, like, who are you asking? I think that really actually matters in terms of what responses are, right? So, but Lisa and Brian, let's just get into it.
Yeah, and anybody can jump in after we hear from them.
Yeah. What do y'all think? Is that still a thing? Marrying for love? What's up?
Yes, it's absolutely a thing. We always, of course, we follow God first, and God is love, and He set the example for us a long time ago, and I tried to live out that example, not just with me and her, but in our lives and our children and on our upbringing. But yeah, it is absolutely essential.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I don't know what I've heard a lot of people say they get married for money, but well, first of all, when we got married, we were broke, so money was definitely not what got us together. And we loved each other long before we got married, but we also knew that marriage was a commitment, and that God would lead us to that if that's where we were supposed to be. And so we waited for that. We got a lot of pressure from people to get married. People just have to do the math to know that, we started our family before we got married. Right. And because of that, we got a lot of pressure from people to get married because it was so-called the right thing to do. Yeah. And, obviously we wanted to do right by our children too. So people get married for money, lots of other reasons, sometimes reasons that have nothing to do with themselves. But we knew even then that getting married for any other reason but for one another was not going to be good for us or our kids. And so we definitely made the decision to wait until it was the right thing for us to do.
Well, but I do have a question for y'all, actually, right? because I'm listening, I'm like, okay, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, Lisa and Brian, known each other for 30 years, married for 22. That means there's an 8-year delta there. And so what about the person who says, you know what? Okay, fine. I mean, did you know you loved them at year 3, 4, 5, whatever? If you marry for love, then why wait, right? What was the turning point, or what was the holdup?
So we met, first of all, when we met, we were in college. So we were pretty young.
Broke, by the way, that was, go ahead.
Good. Well, at NSU, behold.
The green.
But we were young, and we loved each other. I think we figured that out pretty quickly. And although love is obviously it's key to being in a successful marriage, there are a lot of other things that need to be in place too. If you go out and marry every person you love, you're setting yourself up for a failure right from the beginning. How many times have you said, I love someone before you got married? And so, yes, love is absolutely key. It has to be there. But there are other things that are just as important. And being ready to commit to a lifelong relationship has to be part of that. And I don't care how much you love each other. If you're not ready to make the commitment that God says marriage is supposed to be, then you're not ready to do it, no matter how much in love you are.
That's
Yeah,
good.
and she brings up a great point, because when we first met, I was my relationship with God was brand new. I was still trying to find out who I was. I had to, not just, find out how much God loved me. I had to find out how much I loved myself before I could love her.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all. Y'all some old veterans, so we appreciate y'all sharing that. We're gonna kind of pivot this thing and ask somebody who maybe hasn't been married as long, or maybe isn't married yet. I don't know who's gonna jump in there. So while y'all three couples out there, y'all decide who is going to be. Let me shout out a couple of people. So Makiba Jackson, thanks for joining us. Logan Eason, hey. Jay Sutton, I think I got you already, but I'll get you again. Bob Washington, thanks for joining us.
What's up, man?
Yeah. And I think there was one more. Okay, yep, I get you. So who else wants to tackle that one? Anybody else?
The newbies.
Go ahead.
Or so you think. So our situation is very unique because while we are newly engaged, we've only been dating for almost 2 years. We both have been married before. And so I think going into it this time, we knew and know exactly what it was we were looking for and wanted. And we set a certain standard, and we knew that if that wasn't going to be met, then that we weren't in the business of wasting each other's time at all. So it definitely wasn't about money. It was all about love and commitment and family, I think, and of course God, because we both have our own personal relationships with him. But then really, be quiet because I'm gonna keep going. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to kind of piggyback on what Lisa said, and from the standpoint of it definitely takes a lot more than love, from my experience, to be in the position to want to marry somebody. And her and I just had this conversation a few days ago. Like, when I say I want to propose and I want to be with you for the rest of my life, that means I'm ready to deal with the not so smooth stuff, because the loving part is easy, right? We all can do that with our eyes closed, no problem. But it's the hard times. It's the things that aren't so pretty, that don't feel so good. That's what I'm committing to with her. And because we've been together for almost 2 years, we've had some great times. We've had a few bumps in the roads, but I think during that process, we both have realized that, hey, listen, we can, even though I'm pretty sure there's other things that we're going to have to deal with as a couple, but we're willing to say, you know what, I'm willing to go through this with you. I'm willing to I love the good parts and the parts that maybe necessarily need to be worked on. And that's for her too. And so that's the commitment that we're looking to start. And I think the foundation of our relationship, A, is love, B, is friendship. We're pretty much the same person. I'm just a lot taller and darker. But and we both are willing to make that commitment, because I've seen how she moves from the standpoint of when it's not so smooth, and she's seen how I move when things aren't as good, and so we both have come to the realization that we're willing to do that. So here we are.
Yeah, Jaren and Brittany, so you all may be among the freshest, like, newly engaged couples on the planet, right? And so this thing only a few days old, but I'm glad that you're on, because you said something that's key. Like, both of you have been married before. So I got a question for you, because there are a lot of people who've been married before. And you said, and I actually jotted it down, right? You knew what you wanted and what you were looking for, right? A lot of times people who have been in a relationship before, they're not necessarily looking for something. They know what they don't want. Mm-hmm. And they're looking for, like, I don't want that person to be like that other person, right? Yeah. So how do you, because I believe that's kind of a trap. So how do you kind of how do you do it? How do you not go out looking for what somebody is not versus what they are?
Yes. Both of us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Either one of y'all, I mean, however y'all want to do that.
For me, it was a time of isolation. After I got divorced, I got off of social media for almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was focusing on Brittany, my son, my relationship with God, things that I wanted to do. And in that time, I really had gotten to a place where I didn't want to be in a relationship. I was like, oh, I'm okay. It's just going to be me and Jackson. I'm going to hang with my family. And I'm going to travel. I'm going to do, the things that I love to do. And I really wasn't as focused on that. And then somebody came along. But in the midst of that, I was still praying and I still believed in love and I still wanted it. I just didn't really know how it was going to come about. But in my prayers, I knew, okay, if somebody does come in my life, I want them to be God-fearing. They have to love me. They have to love my son. They have they have to match certain things. I think in that list, you often compare to what you had, like you said, and you know what you don't want. And it teaches you even more so what you do want, so that you can be more specific in that request or that petition to God, I think. So for me, that was it. And we had conversations early on, like, we're not in the business of wasting each other's time. I know what you want. You know what I want. Like, we started dating with a purpose almost instantly. It was never, we just kicking it kind of, not really.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So I want to make sure I shout out a couple of people. I want to get to more of this because we could just we probably gonna break y'all out and do a show with each of y'all. I'm just saying this is good. So it's Bob and Sabrina Washington. So we're glad you're both here. Chanel, thank you. And Chanel says that's real, knowing exactly what you want and willing to acknowledge that you don't want to waste your time or their time. So see, that just kind of comes right back around. And Kate Easton says, Jerry, and just talk to your granddaddy. So I guess that must be somebody that you know. Erica Hood, thank you for joining us. So I just wanted to get those in there.
It's so funny. If you any family business y'all want to handle, y'all go ahead and just get in the chat and handle y'all business. but that was really powerful, right? Because what Brittany spoke to is this contentment, right? Because there's a point at which, well, I'm not even gonna elaborate. I could maybe later, but no, thank you for that. Jerry, you have anything to add to that, bro?
No, I think we were kind of in the same boat, but different at the same time. I've been married before, but I'd also just come off a very long relationship with somebody. And my biggest thing was finding someone that was equally yoked. Because with what I do, as far as like, especially in the church, I'm always in the position, I feel like I'm always covering people from the standpoint of praying, from the standpoint of ministry. The biggest thing I was looking for is for someone to cover me, pray on the same page when I have to do things from a ministry standpoint, for that person to understand. And not just that, but just be able to just randomly pray for me just when I need it.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that I just wasn't gonna bow down to this time. Like, I was very adamant about that's what I need. And with her, it was natural. Like even now, like when she senses that I'm maybe bothered by something or something's going on, she'll just pray over me right there on the spot. And so that's, for me, that's huge, because that keeps me going. And that's a different type of love. And kind of going back to what she was saying, what even Brian said about God being love. And so the fact that she understands that makes her have the ability to be able to love from a completely different standpoint, from a completely different level. And that was one of the first things that I wanted to look for. In addition to commonalities, things of that nature. I'm gonna be 40 next year. I don't have kids, so my biggest thing was I wanted to find somebody that was young, a young joint. You know what I mean? so to have the well, at least to have the option if we want to have kids. We wanted.
I gotta mute my mic, bro.
No, that's good right there. I was gonna say, I did the same thing.
That's funny. So and so the only thing, not for another night, the only thing I take issue with, you said that love, that's easy. Yeah, some days. But I'm not getting that tonight. But I appreciate that. Yeah. And this brother, you talking about covering a whole lot of stuff in church. Yeah, y'all don't know, man. This brother would grab a mic, hop on the keys. He just, all over the place. Yeah, we've been watching you, man. We've been watching.
Yeah, we have. We still watching.
We still watching. All right. So
Dexter Peggins, thanks for joining us. And Jessica, thank you for this comment. She says, I think it's an open-ended exchange, not transactional. We both have to be willing to give of ourselves mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, verbally, and unconditionally.
that sounds like everything.
Yeah. That's in response to what I read at the beginning. So Camilla Freeman says, Young Joint, is he from NYC? That's the language. And Christina said a tenderoni.
Y'all back to the 80s.
I know.
So wait a minute. Who said tenderoni?
Christina. She's such an old soul.
What in the? I don't even.
It's all good.
Just old soul for real.
Yeah. And so one comment that came in earlier, and I think it was from Jessica too, is she was saying that when they sought out premarital counseling and they went and had Christian counseling, they were told that love is not enough. And it's interesting that you bring that up because, and you know, the guidance is different depending on who you talk to. One of the things that we always encourage is that you seek out good, godly wisdom. And so what some people get in the habit of doing is they seek out wisdom, and then if they don't agree with it, they go to somebody else. And so we want to make sure that, you know, that when you are trying to get guidance or you're trying to learn for both of you, that you are learning together, that you are seeking out guidance together, and that you are discovering together. Because you know there are challenges when one person is in from one school and the other is from another, and then you start to conflict with what guidance you're getting. I did a women's conference earlier this year, and the topic was love is not enough. And so I talked for a whole, I don't know, I guess it was 25 minutes. Felt like it was 2 days on that topic. But you know, it's this whole idea that you are bringing your whole self. So thank you for those comments, and thank you too for sharing so openly and honestly and keeping it real. So who else wants to tackle that question before we go on to the next?
Who?
I'll go.
All right.
So, as you guys know, I have a interesting relationship past, and so you know, when I met Tay, I was pretty much like, it's just me and Zion, like Brittany, me and Zion, focused on the kid. You know, I know everything I don't want, and even at that point, I still didn't really nail down exactly what it is that I did want, if that makes sense. But I always said, the next person I date, I'm gonna marry. The next person I date, I'm gonna marry. It's gonna be me and Brian. We're gonna sit in here in this condo. We're gonna chill. And then along comes this guy. And I didn't give him the time of day. Brittany knows, Jasmine knows. She was like, he likes you. And I'm like, look, I'm good. And you know, it took some time. And then I realized, like, oh, okay, God, it's him. All right, boom. And Tay was not, like, I'm telling y'all, I was gonna date me a 6'3" basketball player. I was gonna be at the gym every day by the sideline watching them play. Like, we all know Tay's not a basketball player, but it's just funny how you create this picture of who you want, and then it can be the complete opposite. And so that's kind of what happened with us. And you know, once I decided to give him a chance, it ended up being the right decision for me, for us, ultimately. But I had the same feelings Brittany had. I prayed, and I just waited. And I got this guy. And y'all know Tay is just completely different from people who I've dated before. Y'all know that. So
completely different.
Yeah.
Thank God. And
completely different. What are you laughing at?
I'm
completely different, thank God.
But but just like boom, just peas, carrots.
Yeah, but even like, you know, I don't see how people can like marry for money and stuff like that. I've never been that type of person. I have to love you. I don't know how, I don't know. What do you think? Did you love me? Did you just like me? Was you just tolerating me?
I knew what I wanted at the time when I seen you. Like those two, I was married for 10 years. I got married early, and I realized I got married when I was 18, 19. And you know, you still young in your mind, still want to go out, wild out, have fun, do crazy stuff. So I kind of like ended my marriage. So divorce, I was by myself for about 6 years, 5 years, 6 years. So that gave me time to realize what I had, what I messed up, how much it costs. It costs a lot.
That's real.
And then I got with her, and she pretty much laid it down just what I'm looking for. If you ain't that person, I'm like, oh,
don't waste my time. Don't waste my time.
So yeah, Wendy, I did know within that year I was ready to get married. I was like, this is the one for me. Oh, another thing, she pretty much was like, yo, you don't go to church and you don't do this and you don't do that. She brought me, I ain't gonna say I ain't know the Lord. She brought me back.
That's good.
Back into the church, made me realize again what family was. Because like I said, I was off of myself while and out having fun. Two daughters, you know, and she made me realize, hey, you gotta be a father, and if you want to be with me, you gotta accept Zion, you gotta accept me and respect what I got going on, or stay by yourself and keep doing what you're doing. So she leveled me. She leveled, you know, she made me brought me back down, leveled me out.
Yeah. So, wow. Yeah. No, that's awesome. And what I'm hearing from y'all and from what Brittany and Jerry were talking about was this idea of intention, right? Like cutting to the chase right now. Hey, this is what this is for. This is what this is about. And if it's not for you, cool. You got choices.
Yeah.
But you know, I love you, and there's more. Right?
Well, a lot of people don't do that early on. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead, straight to the point. When you dating somebody, you know what you want. Go ahead and say it. Like, look, boom, this is what it is, because that's how you end up wasting time. You're just assuming that this person is on the same page as you. You're assuming they want the same things you want. You just go ahead and say, boom, hey, this is what it is. And if you're not on board with that, we can be done with it. We don't have to waste our time dating or none of that. And so that's kind of how I was. Because like I said, it was going to be me and Zion forever. I was already prepared.
And it's interesting. A lot of times people are uncomfortable having those conversations. And it's like, it's your life. Some people put more resistance into, like, you know, not getting cheated at the restaurant or whatever, or things that are not really that important, a lot of energy and effort. But when it comes to those simple things, like, hey, you know what? This is who I am. It's what I want. It's what I'm about. Period. You down? If you're not, it's cool. But you know, so I think it's really important. I don't know why a lot of people don't have those conversations up front.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great point. We've talked about that a couple of times before. We've talked when we do our singles or our topics that are focused towards singles or pre-marrieds. We spend a lot of time talking about that intentionality, identifying what it is that you want and your non-negotiable. So thank you for sharing that. Dominique and Angela Gaston were invited by the Wilsons, so we're glad you're here. Awesome. Welcome for joining us for the first time in the Marriage Shop. And then there are a couple of comments out there. So there's a question. So whoever wants to take this one, they can take this one.
No, actually,
Jasmine and Morris are not off the hook.
They're on the hook.
Okay, so here you go.
Y'all got this one.
This is your question. This is from Janelle. And the question is, how long is too long to be engaged?
Oh, that's perfect.
Are we speaking in Corona years?
I was about to say, are we
regular
speaking
time?
In pandemic time, or because that is I think just like everything else, in a relationship, you can't allow things outside of your relationship, outside of you two, to determine the pace at which you move. We were together for 10 years before we got engaged. And for so many people, that was just like, all right, now, like, but at the same time, we knew where we were individually. And if you know that you want to get married and you want to be married in this huge venue with all these people around you, but you don't got huge people with all these venue around you money and you need time, that's something you're gonna have to consider. But if it really is just about you two and trying to figure out, okay, what's going to work best for us, and leaving everybody else outside of that bubble to allow you to make the decisions that are going to work best for you, then, I mean, it's really what you need as a couple in your relationship.
Man,
that's good.
Come on, Jasmine.
We included in that.
Yes.
Like, back up. Back up.
But no, it's so good. I mean, and we talking about a couple. I mean, the Jasmine don't even have she don't got a print around her finger yet from that ring. You know what I mean? They've been engaged only. I mean, Morris probably still got
a little bit.
Just a little bit. She got a little line on the finger.
Y'all don't mess with my image I'm trying to paint here, all right? but yeah, I mean that is so. Marriage is about two people. Period. It's not about your mama. It ain't about your daddy. It's not about your grandparents. It's not about your family, your friends, or what anybody's doing or has done.
Or your uncle.
Or your uncle.
Or your uncle. No.
Right.
I was gonna say though, we're blessed to have amazing examples. For everybody up here that doesn't know, like all the people on the screen around me are my older siblings, my parents, my uncle, my aunt. Like these are the examples that I've had. And as far as love goes, our family has a lot of it. So it was never a question of, oh, well, am I going to be in this for love? No, that's not an option. It was, okay, what else? Like figuring out what else it was going to be that was going to, hold us together, that was going to keep us together. A lot of that was God. And we had those conversations in high school very early on. Mm-hmm. So that was never a question, but it's always been about what's going to be best for the both of us. And
yeah. And I think that's good. I think that's good because, you're exactly right. And I like that you pointed out that it doesn't matter what anyone external to the two of you has to say about it, because society often tells us to rush things, or it tells us that however many years or how many weeks or whatever is too long. But at the end of the day, it really does come down to that couple. And so, depending on what circles you run in, I mean, you're going to have your girls that are saying, girl, it's been too long. It's been 5 years. Has he asked yet? I mean, did he buy you a jewelry box with no ring? What's next? I'm just messing with you, baby.
No.
But,
I was like, right. Interesting.
Don't get me wrong. We both individually, like, I wanted to be married. He wanted to be married. This is something we've been talking about for a few years now. But I knew that, okay, I want this, but what he needed to be right in his life and what I already had right in mine, you kind of have to allow that space for the other person to catch up. And it's not always him catching up. Sometimes it's me, but I mean, we got to that place. Thank God.
Yeah, that's good.
So y'all married for love or what? I'm just
definitely for love.
Okay.
All right. So
I'm just asking.
Real purpose.
No, you good. I was just saying.
Oh, yeah. She says a 1 Corinthians 13 kind of love is key. I feel that the kind of love that kind of love can sustain anything, or that in a marriage can sustain anything. Man, I'm all tongue tied. Brenda Croston brings us another comment. So I want y'all to listen to this one. She says, I understand what is meant by love is not enough. However, love is not just touchy-feely, kissy-kiss. Love is inclusive of discipline, commitment, honesty, and stripping bare on all levels with your partner. Therefore, for me, love is everything and enough. Amen.
Boy, what?
Yeah.
Come on now.
She said that.
She did.
Yeah. So Jessica came back with that. Love keeps no record of wrongs. Is hard though. I mean, she's keeping it real there. It is hard to not keep a record of wrongs. And when we consider that, and I think Jerian had mentioned it too, I mean, there's going to be good and there's going to be bad. You can anticipate that, but you also want to know and kind of have some assurances that person is going to be there and that you will be able to endure and are committed to endure whatever those ups and downs might be, even when you don't know what it is yet.
Yep.
Chanel came back and said the common misunderstanding is that you must know what you want. And if the person you're with doesn't or doesn't meet what you're looking for, hope and prayer is not an option. Too many times we believe that we can change our partner, but your partner has to want to change for you. Y'all coming with it tonight.
Wow.
Thank you for these comments.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes. And Jay Halim, thanks for joining us. We're always glad when you drop into the shop. So what you got? I'm
here to submit to you that love is enough.
Okay.
Like by itself, love is enough. Why? I'm gonna pull it up because I have a screen over here that's acting up, and I don't need any issues tonight with this feed. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. But there's a lot of things. The thing about love, and I heard all you say, I'm married for love, and then there's these other pieces, right, that are important. The other pieces, they are important, because there are things that because we've talked about, like, hey, you can love anyone, right?
Yep.
Literally, people who are horrible for you, you can love them, right? So the key is like who you choose, right? And so because then it becomes not about what they do or don't do. It's about what your love compels you to do or not. It's about the love. It's about the grace and the mercy, like the forgiveness that you bring along with you when that person messes up, when it's difficult to love them, right? And so I'm gonna take y'all to, when we're talking about love, we often go to Corinthians, right? But I'm gonna take y'all to a slightly different place tonight, real fast. And this is just, if I can find it. All my electronics are trying to act up. I'm not having it though.
It's all good.
Go ahead.
It's spiritual warfare. So while he's doing that, I just want to launch a challenge to you guys tonight. And so we are certainly thankful and blessed that our family was able to join us tonight. And we know we put you guys on the spot, but we love y'all. And we know that sometimes that pressure was us. We own it. It's all good, but we love y'all anyway.
Not sorry.
Not sorry. But with that said, when we're looking at, really what it requires, not only to get into a marriage that is healthy and is a marriage and you're getting married for the right reasons, we always want to encourage and inspire that you get into a marriage that will endure, right? A marriage that is fortified and that will be able to withstand the things that will come. Often we hear people say that marriage is work, right? And the truth is that it does require from both sides, the two people that are in that marriage, it does require effort. And so the difference between work and effort, well, is all in how you define it.
Yep.
But the bottom line is this: as you are intentional about, number one, who you choose. Let's go back. Number one, who you follow, right? We always encourage and inspire, and our hope and our prayer is that God is in it from the beginning. In order for a marriage to thrive, it is our belief that when God is in your marriage, or when you follow God's plan for your life, that's the first step to having a marriage and a love that will last. So once you have that in place, and then following with that intentionality and intentional about who you choose and why you're choosing them. And like Ashley said, being unafraid to verbalize that, to come out and say, hey, this is what I want, and this is who I need you to be, and unapologetic about that thing. That those are ways that you can get started in the right direction. Seeking out godly wisdom and counseling at the beginning, because even in the beginning, we have sat with numerous couples, pre-married and married, and talked about in the very early stages and ages of their marriages and relationships, there are going to be challenges. And sometimes there are challenges before you ever get married. One of the biggest fights we ever had was before Mike proposed. So we know that that's going to come. How do you then make sure that this is the right person? Some of those trials come just so that you can test it and know that it's being fortified from the right things. Go ahead.
You can know it's the right person from day one if you're willing to wait on God. And once you discover they're the right person, the question was, well, how long is too long to be engaged? I would suggest to you that some people do wait actually too long because they're waiting to get it all together. I'm kind of talking to y'all fellas, right? Because we want to get it together. You want to be financially together. You want to be, have this together, that together, et cetera. When I met Wendy, my debt was kind of crazy for as young as I was, right? And so my initial thought was, I'm going to get this together before I bring anybody into this. Well, I mean, how long you got? You got 10 years? You got 5-10 years to wait for me to get this together so I can come into this all put together. We had to talk about it, right? And Wendy decided that she was willing to walk through that with me. And so together we eliminated what, within a matter of a few years, what would have taken me many, many more to eliminate, because that requires some humility. I'm saying that to say a lot of times we will try to have everything all put in place before we move forward. And sometimes part of the moving forward is coming together with that other person and eliminating your shame and your fear, your pride, right? Now, some people you absolutely should not marry. That's what I think really listening, just praying and waiting and listening and not trying to push God's agenda, right? But as being in a place where you can hear what he's saying to you and move as he's asking you to move. The scripture that you may often not hear connected to love is Colossians chapter 3, starting around, let's start around 12. It says, put on then as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, compassionate hearts, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience, bearing with one another, and if one has a complaint against another, forgiving each other, as the Lord has forgiven you, so you also must forgive. And above all these, put on love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. Love is what ties it all together. So you can have, somebody who's got money, who's got resources, who, knows all the answers, they got education, all that stuff. If you don't have love, what you do have is some type of a transactional arrangement. And marriage is meant to be so much more than that, because through marriage, we are creating, right? First, we are reflecting the love that God has for us through Jesus, right? And Jesus' love for the church and the sacrifice for the church. Think about that. It's transactional. Give up your life. Give up what you want. Give up your way in the interest of someone else. You can only do that if you love somebody, right? So, all that stuff y'all said is cool too, right? I mean, it is all these other things do come into play, but love is the thing that holds and binds all those things together, which is basically what everyone that we talked to tonight has said.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But God has got to be in it. If you're leading with the checkbook, if you're leading with, like the house you want or the car you want, if you're leading with those things,
or sex,
yeah. If you're leading with those things, there's so much I can say. But yeah, you're right. Then you're going to find yourself in a place where you're like, man, I think I'm with the wrong person.
Yeah,
very often, right?
Because truth be told, that all of those things can run out, or can be lost. Love is the thing that you own from the beginning, the capacity to love from the beginning, and it's the thing that will endure through all things.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter if you're sick, it doesn't matter if you're broke, it doesn't matter if we were talking about sexual dysfunction, if you can no longer get it on like you did. Love endures. And so, we could go on and have this love fest, but I did want you guys to hear from the people that are here with us. One thing we asked them to share, and hopefully everybody has this, but one thing that they want to share as advice for married couples out there. So we're just going to go around real quick. We'll start with whoever wants to go. I won't call you out. Just give us real quick some advice for our married couples.
So I'll start. We talked obviously a lot about keeping God first. That's key. You have to have love, that permanent thing that keeps you together when everything else is falling apart. COVID is a perfect example of that. If you look at the number of people who are splitting up this year after being stuck in the house with someone who they don't love, so to speak. But one piece of advice I would give is what I've always told my girls is, I've never told them marry for love. I've never told them to marry for anything other than love, and to be sure that they have a standard. And for them, the standard was, if you can't find a man who treats you at least as well as your dad treats me, then you don't need him. Mm-hmm. And that's not to say that there aren't men out there who are good men who maybe, make mistakes. People make mistakes. You have to have grace for that. But you also have to know what you're getting into, and be okay with that. And don't expect the person to change after you marry them. So if they can't treat you well from the beginning, they're probably not going to do it later.
That's good.
It's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Drop the mic.
Who's next?
I'll go. So, for me, the biggest thing I think is to allow your partner to make mistakes and grow. That's a big thing with me. I find myself not so much now, but just like wanting him to be a certain way, right? But I was missing the understanding of he has to go through his progressions as well. So I, because he was married before, I was always like, you done this before, you're supposed to know, blah, blah, blah. And that was wrong to do. And I think about that often when we're disagreeing on something or anything. And I now, as before, I'm just like, now I'm just like, okay, this is new for him too. This is not the other marriage. This is completely different. Sometimes you just got to allow things to just, let the cards fall the way they will and be willing to take on whatever challenges come. And that's a control thing for me. And so don't be controlling. Let that man make them mistakes, girl. Let him go.
That's good.
When you ask him to do something, he'll do it right. Don't say, "Hey, I don't like the way you did this." You wait till he walk out the room and you fix it. And
That's good. That's good. All right. Who's next?
We'll go next. I think the biggest one that I can speak on, I think for the both of us, is communication. And people say it, and it, it's kind of a cliche, but the unapologetic communication that you talked about, Wendy and Ashley, we have to, in setting that standard, like Ma said, like I have to tell him what I want, and I can't back down from that. I can't be unapologetic. I can't be sorry and stop. And I can't not worry about his feelings, but I can't put myself on the back burner to try to protect him or to feel like, or make him feel like, oh, okay, it's gonna be okay. Like if I don't say this, or maybe I should say it this way or that way. We both were that way. We both said, look, this is what we want. This is how we want it. And even in disagreements or things that we're trying to figure out for our future, things that we want, we both have come to this agreement. There's nothing we can't talk about. At some point, I don't care how it is, even if we need a little space, we're going to figure out a way to come and talk about it and talk through it. And knowing your partner and how that person communicates and the best ways to communicate with them. Everyone isn't a debater. Everyone isn't able to, sometimes you got to, like Marcel, you have to have that grace. You have to be able to, like Ashley said, let them, make those mistakes. That's a part of that communication. Let those mistakes happen and, go back and maybe fix it and then come back and say, hey, babe, I like when you do it this way. This is what I would prefer. It was nothing really wrong with that. I know you do it that way, but I prefer, I prefer if, you did it this way.
Yeah.
Instead of, I do it like that,
Yeah.
That's a part of that communication. So I think that's a big factor for us. We have always, from day one, we were so open about, like we said, what we wanted, how we wanted it to be, what our intentions were. And if that wasn't it, we both were like, this isn't going to work. So communication, people.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, y'all better go ahead, world's newest couple.
Yes,
right? Because
Christmas Day.
It's subtle, right? But it's like you're doing it wrong versus I would prefer. It's a subtle, small shift, right? That may result in some amazing changes up in your house.
Yes, and you can use that in all things.
All things.
Y'all know
what she's talking about.
I want to piggyback off that real quick. Is one thing we have never done, and we've been together for almost 30 years, is never, because Brittany talked about communication, don't ever say the thing you can't take back. And if you're so angry that you think you're going to say that thing that's going to hurt them, you need to walk away. It's okay to argue and to disagree, but there's a such thing as below the belt. There's a such thing that's too much. And some things you say, I don't care how sorry you are, you can never take those things back. And we've always been real intentional about fighting fair.
That's good.
That's good. That's good. All right, Morris and Jasmine.
You guys said so much. But one of the things that, like I said before, is a really big thing for us is, and it took us a long time, a decent portion of that 10 years to figure this out, but that who we are individually plays a big part in who we are together. If I'm not okay, then he's not okay sometimes because I'm not okay. And me working on myself, which I struggle with this daily, but me allowing myself the time to work through whatever it is that I'm going through plays in huge to how we're doing in our relationship. And if you don't allow that space for each other to work on whatever you're going through individually, if he had a long day at work, but when he gets home, I'm upset and I had a long day at work and I'm not trying to hear what he had to say, or, oh, you dealing with this over here, but I'm not giving you that space to work through that, or feeling like you can work through that with me, you're kind of fighting a losing battle. So allow time and know the other person's intentions. Me knowing his intention, he's one of the nicest, most kind-hearted people you will ever meet. And sometimes I forget that. And I have to know that his intentions are never, he never has any ill will towards me. It may just be that I need to allow him that space in order to, kind of navigate his way back to, okay, this is what is wrong. This is where we can improve. So.
Yeah. So look, that I think the most I want to play this song real bad, but listen, one of the most important things that you said right there, like when I'm not okay, he's not okay. When he's not okay, I'm not okay. Marriage is a mystery, y'all. Don't ask me. God did it. But when two become one, like it should be impossible for you to be okay if your spouse is not. Right. So I just think that's amazing. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, world's second newly engaged couple.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yeah, so we know you want to get to this song, but we want to thank you guys. We love you guys. We miss you guys, and we are just thankful that you were willing to come in here and share with us and share with all of the people that bless us every week by joining us in the Marriage Shop on Mondays at 7. So if you think somebody could benefit from anything that was shared tonight, because there's a whole lot of wisdom dropped here tonight, and not from us, we're just so thankful. But if you think someone could benefit, make sure you share this and tag them, bring them on back in here. The next time you'll hear from us, it'll be 2021. So we want to make sure that you, just like everybody else, put 2020 behind you, the good and the bad, and look forward to new possibilities, renewed commitments, better communication, a stronger and enduring marriage. And if you haven't put God first in your marriage, we challenge you to put God first. So I think that's all I have for this last one.
Yeah.
You gonna pray us out?
I'm gonna pray. I'm feeling some kind of emotional way right now. I just want to say I appreciate you all so much. I think that what you all represent is a shift for our family, like a generational shift, because of the commitment you made and how you're trying to do this thing, right? And so when the marriage transforms, everything else does. And so I can't tell y'all how much that means to me. All right. So let's pray. Heavenly Father, we just come to you tonight, just in awe of you, God. And just amazed by how you can take something broken and make something amazing out of it. We thank you for every person, every couple who's on with us tonight, for our family that we love so dearly. We thank you for everyone who's been able to share with us tonight. God, help us just continue to show us how it doesn't matter where we've been. It doesn't matter where we came from. You can take anything and make it amazing if we just trust you. And so we just thank you for the guidance you've given us around how to do marriage, how to love each other better, how to forgive, how to show grace, God. And we just ask that for everyone listening. We ask that you just answer every prayer being prayed. We ask that you just bless these couples, God, bless their families, bless their homes. And as we move from day to day, even into 2021, God, that we just ask that you bless and make every day better than the last. We love you, God. We adore you, and we trust you with everything. We pray these and other blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Oh, yes. And you can still get those Marriage Shop mugs. Check us out. If you missed any of our past videos, they're all available on Marriage Shop on Facebook. And also on YouTube. If you know somebody that's not on Facebook, they can also follow us live on YouTube on Mondays at 7. And we'll be coming in on Mondays at 7 in 2021 as well.
Yeah.
Good job.
So babe. Thank you. Hey, we love y'all. We see y'all every Sunday. I'm tripping. Every Monday, for the most part, at 7 o'clock. So bring somebody along with you. But we love to have y'all here. So that's it for the Marriage Shop tonight. Y'all on mic. She's Wendy. And y'all know how we going to do it. We're going to close this thing out with that single. It is our single, legit. It's Mike and Wendy, right? Featuring JC, who really made it happen. Y'all all know that, but who cares, right? So JC is like remarkable. But y'all check this single out, all right? But we appreciate everything he's brought to this ministry. And we just look forward to what the future holds. So love y'all. See y'all later.
Yeah, you can click the link on the Facebook page to get the mugs, or Christina, yes, you can text me.
What?
That's it.
Oh, okay. So see, in all of the fuss, my button disappeared, man. I don't even know. It's all crazy tonight.
Good, baby.
But that is all right. Say something real quick, because I got this song getting played tonight.
I know it was like getting played like 2 times
already. I know, and now it's just like.
So, hey, we want you guys to come back and join us again in 2021. So you just let us know when y'all ready. We'll either have y'all back as a group or have you individually. But we really enjoyed you guys, and we're blessed by everything that y'all shared with us tonight. And I think all of the comments that came in would say the same. So we just wish and pray for like I said, an abundance of blessings in 2021 and for the years to come.
Wendy, y'all, like Wendy is over here like, okay, I'm doing all my best stuff right now to like keep this thing to talk and to fill this time in real fast. But yeah, so I'm fooling my computer, because I will not be defeated by no computer. So, all right, 2 more seconds. Go ahead, baby. Hammer that.
That is too funny.
I know
you are funny.
But this is not funny though, because
it's fine.
We have all this covered. This is a professional operation we got going on here.
Uh-huh.
All right. So and plus that intro I did, that was fire. That was anywho. All right. So for real, this is it. It's my man JC. Or your boy JC, I don't want to mess up the man's thing, but no, this is our single, Lifetime. So y'all check it out. We enjoy it. So, all right, and my mic's muted. Anyway, y'all check that out, Lifetime by JC.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, it's your boy JC. I'm in the mood, love, yeah. Lately I've been constantly thinking about you, babe. You drive me crazy, yeah. And girl, I want this got me all up in my feelings. Over the feeling, yeah. I knew the first time I laid eyes on you that you would be here forever. I'm not being arrogant, and I still can't take my eyes off you. 'Cause you made me better, so much better. I'm in the mood to love you for a lifetime. I'm in the mood to love you for a lifetime, baby. I love your kindness, I love your confidence. Ooh, you're the finest. So glad you're mine, yeah. I don't wanna be with nobody else. Give me your love, that's all the wealth I need. Baby, you're priceless to me, yeah. To love you for a lifetime, I'm in the to love you for a lifetime, yeah. Promise I'ma be around, I'ma always hold you down. Won't you come and hold me now? Won't you come and hold me now? I just got no cool, yeah, I know I got a rule, but I always keep it down with you, yeah. And I know they see, girl, you're my queen. Beauty speaks for itself loud and clear, yeah. So throw it in the air. It's the sweetest sound to follow my ear. And I want the world to know I'll love you forever. And that's a long time, babe. But I got time for you, baby. I'm in the mood